Hello, Julie here, and I am very happy that you are able to join me here today. I am creating a layout for the last week of the challenge over at Mystical Scrapbooks in their 8-week retro TV competition. This is week 8, so as I said, it's the last week, and we've had some great programs for inspiration, and the program for this week's inspiration is Happy Days. So the colour scheme for this week is blue and silver, and I'm going to be using this Colour Blast A4 stencil and Uniquely Creative's Country Roads pattern papers. For my background, I'm going to use the Uniquely Creative Country Roads Real Deal paper. And the stencil, it is, as I said, Colour Blast. It's an A4 stencil, Honey Hive, Love and Grace. And I'm going to use my blending brush and my Distress ink in Faded Jeans. And I'm just going to randomly apply some ink through that stencil on my background, just so that it has a little bit of added interest and texture. The requirements for this week's challenge is to use blue and silver as your colour theme. It has to be a masculine layout. It has to include paper tearing. The item from the optional kit is chipboard cogs. So I'm going to tear the edges of these papers to fit that paper tearing requirement. The paper I'm using is called the Paddock from the same paper range. Then I'm going to use my black Versacolor ink cube and ink 3 edges, so the 2 short edges and the torn edge. The other straight edge will actually be hidden under my photos. Now I'm going to attach my photos to those 2 strips of paper. I've trimmed all of my photos down to 4 inches square, and I have used an emery board to file around the edge of each photo. Now I have 4 photos, so I'm going to be putting 3 down on this strip, and 1 will be my feature photo. So I'm using double-sided tape, and I'm trying to line these up so I can get them as straight as possible, and my 3 photos will run down the centre there. I will put a link in the description box below to the challenge. As I said, this is week 8, but if you're quick about it, you could get all 8 challenges done and entered up by the end of the week. And there's great prizes to be won. So, yep, I'll put the link in the description box to the challenge. Now I'm going to use my art glitter glue to attach some scrap cardboard to the back of my photo panel. This panel is going to go down the left hand side of my layout, but I want it to be risen a little so that it stands out and makes it more of a feature. I use my art glitter glue once again to attach those photos to the layout. As I said, I'm putting them down the left hand side of my layout. To help my photo panel stand out, I'm going to use my liquid glue and add a couple of black strips of cardstock down, well, 1 down each side of the panel. I also added a strip to the left and right hand edge of the layout. These strips of black cardstock are 3/8 of an inch wide, and I've buttered them up to the edge of the pattern paper that I've used for the background. I use liquid glue to attach these strips because it gives me that little bit of wiggle room. Now I've got the denim part of my colour scheme covered with the background paper and the ink. Now I'm going to go with the silver. I have painted with white acrylic paint the cogs from the optional kit, and also this frame is called Pickup Sticks Frame Square from Memory Maze. I've given it a coat of white acrylic paint first, and then a coat of silver metallic acrylic paint. Now I don't need the full frame, so I'm going to use my scissors and cut this frame in half. I don't really have a plan, so I'm just going to have a bit of a play around with the placement of my main photo and my chipboard embellishments. I decided I was going to cut my chipboard down a little bit more. I wanted to have more of the chipboard showing to the right hand edge of the single photo. I cut a piece of the back Paddock paper that was about 1/4 inch wider all round than my photo, and then I used my distressing tool and my black ink cube to ink and distress the edges of that mat. Then I used double-sided tape to attach my photo to the mat. I need to add some cardboard to the back of this photo as well, but I'll wait until I've got my embellishments in place before I do that. So I'm using my liquid glue to attach my chipboard frame, just positioning it so that it pokes out above and below and out the side of my photo. And once I've got that in place, I can then decide where I'm going to put my cardboard so that my photo sits nice and flat on that chipboard and doesn't sink down in the middle. Then I'm going to use my liquid glue to attach my chipboard cogs. I have these uniquely creative silver metal cogs, and I thought I might add some of those to my layout as well. So now I'm going to use my liquid glue to attach those. I'm going to create a third cluster down at the bottom left of the page, and I'm going to add one metal cog to each of the cog clusters I've already got. To create my title, I'm using my Craft DD700 alphabet uppercase dies and black cardstock. Now these photos were taken on New Year's Eve when we were at a friend's place, and the friend had all of these different hats, and everybody had to wear a different hat at different times. So that's where the photos came from. So my title says Man of Many Hats, and I'm going to use my liquid glue and my tea ruler, although my tea ruler wasn't much help because the dimension that the cardboard behind the photos makes your ruler not sit flat on your page. So anyway, I've done the best I can to get that straight, and I'm just going to use those reverse tweezers to help me hold on to those letters. I love those tweezers. And yeah, so that's how I'm going to attach my title. So that's my layout for today. Don't forget, I'll have links below to the challenge over at Mystical Scrapbooks. This is week 8 of the TV programs, Vintage TV program challenge. Thank you for watching my video today. There will be links below to all the products I've used if you're interested in checking them out. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my video, and I hope you'll go and check out the challenge. And I'm looking forward to you being able to join me when I post my next video. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd love it if you subscribed. Bye.